Ooh, hey y'all. Just want to get on here. I haven't been on here in a while. I just came from the beach. It's a little bit windy at the beach here in Brooklyn, Manhattan Beach. But it's a beautiful day and I wanted to get me some sun because pretty soon it's about to be real cold and snow. So, anyway, I hope you all have been well since I last posted a video. I know that some of you that are subscribers to my channel are also subscribers to other people's channels and who are heavy into researching and finding out and getting justice for Nipsey Hussle. So I want to say hello to y'all. You know what? I don't know what I'm doing with this page, and I don't know what I'm going to say today. I never know really what I'm going to say. I kind of have in my mind, but I just listened to Sam Wilson. I just came across his page, I think yesterday or the day before. So, shout out to Sam, Little Kev as well. Shout out to you. Shout out to the HTN family, Alexis K, Tyler, Sky, Nothing But the Truth, Brene. Haven't listened to Brene in a while, but shout out to her as well. Shout out to my sisters. And just want to well, first I want to talk about, before I get into Nipsey, and that might be a separate video, but first I want to share that last night I went to Urban World, BET, and there was another one, Urban World, BET, HBO. So Urban World is hosting these, like a film festival, but it was at AMC Theaters in Times Square in New York. I haven't looked at their website to see if they're doing this anywhere else. But I haven't been involved with Urban World since I left Vanguard Media. Vanguard Media was the publishing company that owned Honey Magazine, Savoy, Heart and Soul, and Impact. For those of you who are around my age and kind of familiar with the magazines, you'll know what I'm talking about. So I worked in events and marketing with Vanguard Media, and Urban World was one of their clients at the time. So I was there from 2000 to 2002. So anyway, meaning I was with Vanguard from 2000 to 2002. So anyway, someone invited me to attend the Urban World Festival last night. I believe it actually started on Friday. So I went last night. I was supposed to see Black and Blue, which is a new film. So they feature all films that are directed, written by African Americans. So the movie that I was able to see, I wasn't able to see Black and Blue because it was completely to capacity in that particular theater. So I ended up going to see the movie called Truth. And I'm sorry, but I don't remember names that well. I'm really not. I remember a face, but I don't remember names. But just remember Truth. Remember Black and Blue. Black and Blue is actually coming out, I think, October 29th or October 25th. That looks like it's going to be a good film. About corrupt cops and, a good one who wants to expose what she saw. So that looks really good. And Truth is about a woman who was having an affair. Basically, I'll just sum it up. A woman who was having an affair with a pastor at a church that she grew up in. Okay. Her cousin is a journalist, and he's one of the key characters as well. So anyway, it was a good film. I really enjoyed it. And I actually saw somebody that I know that I used to work with quite often, China Flowers. Shout out to you, China. She's a publicist. And when I was heavily working as a full-time stylist, wardrobe stylist, She was one of my contacts. So I haven't seen China in a while. We follow each other on social media, and we say hello to each other when we can. And she saw me standing online waiting to get into the theater for The Truth. And she was there with her client, Tobias, and I forget his last name, but he was one of the key players in Empire. So anyway, saw her. And then when I'm sitting in the theater waiting for the film to start, Mr. Andre Harrell comes in and sits down 2 rows in front of me. So anyway, after the film, there was a quick Q&A with a couple of the key actors in the film, as well as the director. And I don't remember the director's name. Sorry. So, like I said, look it up. Truth. When I look, and it's hashtag Truth. When I tried to look it up last night to get a quick idea of what the film was about, I wasn't able to see it, but maybe it's there now. But definitely go to Urban World. I don't know their website, but Urban World. And they'll give you, I'm sure, a synopsis of every film that was played during this mini festival. So anyway, after the Q&A, I introduced myself to the director, let him know that I'm a costume designer and stylist, and I also represent other costume designers. So as some of you may know, I have Lafayette Creative Group, which is an artist representation agency for creatives who are photographers, wardrobe stylists, costume designers, hair and makeup artists, and nail artists. So, anywhere I go, I look at that as an opportunity, whether I'm going to the grocery store or, anytime I go out, I have my cards with me. So I introduced myself to the director, gave him my card. He seemed very excited because there aren't many women of color who are stylists, as some of you know, who may be watching this and work in the industry. So, I'm glad that he received that well. I hope that he calls or emails me. He did not give me his card, and I did not ask for his information, but, just hoping that he utilizes it or passes it along to his assistant to give me a call or an email. Also, I introduced myself to Mr. Harrell, and I mentioned Vanguard because we worked a lot with VIP executives and, artists in the industry of fashion, music, TV and film, mainly fashion and music. So, as you know, Andre Harrell is connected with Diddy and, many other artists, music artists in the history of music, especially urban music and R&B. So anyway, I introduced myself to him, told him that I used to work at Vanguard, and he's like, oh, okay. And, he said, what's your name? I was kind of nervous because I don't like bothering quote unquote celebrities, because he is a celebrity. And I don't like bothering celebrities. And I did not give him my card. I don't know if I should have, but, it's kind of weird. But I figure, I'll see him again, maybe. That was a rare situation. Like, I really was not expecting to see him. And I also saw the young lady who played Raina in Power. If any of you who are Power heads who watch that show, I love Power. She was there as well. Not in that particular movie theater for that particular film. But as I was... Actually, I saw her in the restroom, but I didn't really see her because I was trying to, I came out of the stall and I went straight to the sink, but she was waiting right there when I came out. So when she came out and I was standing online, I was like, oh, that's Raina. She doesn't seem that approachable. I've had a few celebrity, well, working as a stylist, I've had a lot of celebrity moments. But I mean, moments where I wasn't working and I could have just walked up to them and said hello. Now, I will say hi, or I'll acknowledge them with a smile. Like I've seen Zoe Kravitz a couple times because I used to work in Soho, in Manhattan. And her father at the time lived down there. So I believe that's why she was down there. Q-Tip, saw him in Soho coming around the corner when I was on lunch break because I used to work over there. Again, I used to work over there. I was like, hey, but he definitely is like, seems just shy and kind of standoffish. So I like to give them their space. They are regular people. Not really, but they are. And when I see that they're with friends and just chilling, or they might be there by themselves, I don't want to you don't know where their head is at, what they're doing, but I did want to acknowledge Mr. Harrell because it's like, I can't walk by this man and not say hello, I said I was going to stop doing that. So there have been a few times, like I, didn't introduce myself to Aaliyah, but I did see her one time when I first moved to New York, and I was at an event by myself. And, my friends from Cali who live here as well had told me about the event, so I went down there. I'm like, okay. I think that might have been my first event by myself in New York. But she was so sweet. And actually, she said hi. She acknowledged me first. So I was like, oh my God, hi. So I thought that was nice. And she was with Jay-Z. He didn't say anything, but I met him at another time. But yeah, met him through someone. He introduced it. I think the guy was introducing me to just maybe try to hook me up. I don't know what his point in doing that was. It was just awkward. But I was like, hey, how you doing? That was, I was with some people that I used to work with at Vanguard. It was only a few of us, a handful of us, but I'm not starstruck. So that wasn't really, if he was trying to impress me by saying he could introduce me to Jay-Z, okay. I was like, hey, but he was very, I don't know if he was high or he had a cap down, he had a cap on and it was very low. And he didn't strike up any conversation, and I didn't go any further with it because it's like, I'm not a dick rider, so sorry. Yeah, hi. But anyway, so that's that. I just wanted to say that I was very surprised last night at what it actually was, because I didn't know, because it was a whole completely different company where you RSVP'd for the film to get the tickets. So anyway, but it was cool. But it just made me feel like, oh wow, I wish I knew about this and I would have seen way more films, because they were free passes. So anyway, that's that. So I hope you're having a great Sunday. I'm going to come back on here. I'm going to leave it right here. I feel like Nipsey deserves a separate video. And that's that. Thanks for listening.